Hey team, it's Scott from Bartlow's Barbecue and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to cook and smoke an untrimmed brisket, season it, throw it on the smoker and just see how it turns out? Well, that's today's experiment on the Kamado Joe. Stick around and we'll get right into all the details. From my backyard to yours, less hate, more love. Good barbecue. All right, my friends, this is a 14-pound Packard brisket. We are going to take it out of the cryovac and then begin to season it. Just like that. Try to keep all the juices inside the best I can. This here. And then we're going to begin to pat this down. Flip it, do the same thing. It's got a nice fat cap on this side. Well, my friends, as I'm looking at this, it's going to be so tempting to want to trim this because that's how I've been trained to kind of round off the edges, any hard fat, remove that. So flimsy parts like that, are going to just kind of burn off. But for the sake of an experiment, we are going to leave everything as is and see how it turns out. Friends, we're going to use W sauce as a binder. You can use olive oil, you can use mustard with pickle juice, you can duck fat spray, whatever floats your boat. We're going to get the other side. I think this is going to help with the beefiness. And now that we've got that on there, we're going to be using my house rub. I've launched my Sweet Red Dirt rub, which is an all-purpose rub. But I've got a second one that is about to be in production, hopefully by the fall. And this is more of an SPG with a few other fun ingredients. And that's what we're going to be using today. So let's start seasoning this up. So again, it's got salt, pepper, garlic. It's got some W powder in it, some cumin, and a few other different ingredients. Well, hey team, the smoker is at 275 using master built lump charcoal, using post oak wood chunks buried using the slow roller. We've got a clean burn. Now it's time to put the brisket on here. Gonna let it ride for about 4 or 5 hours to build that bark. We're not gonna really do much other than that. Bring you back when that's around 180 or whatever temperature that ends up being, and I'll let you know. And then we will wrap it in butcher paper with a few other things and then let it ride until it's probe tender. So let's put it on the smoker. My friend, this is fat cap up. Well, hey friends, I want to tell you about the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Once this channel hits 10,000, we are a little over 7,000 right now, but once we hit 10,000, we're going to do a big giveaway, giving away a solo stove, giving away a Kamado Joe and my rub, and maybe a few other things. So like, subscribe, do all the things, turn on notifications, help get the word out, because I would love for you to win this incredible prize once we hit 10,000 subscribers. All right, team, we are at that 180 mark. Got some good bark formation on here. Now we're gonna wrap it in butcher paper with some beef tallow. So let's do that now. All right, friends, we're gonna take a scoop. or two and put it on here. And then we will begin to, this is gonna help some of that bark not get the crusty parts kind of soften up a little bit. But I would say overall, we got some good crust formation on here. It's super soft because of the fat cap. We've got a little pooling here, so I'm gonna kind of spread that out a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is fold this. And actually bring this closer. Well, now we're gonna let this smoke until it's pro tender, between 200 and 212, depending on the different part of the point and the flat. So we'll see you back and do our rest and our final reveal. Well, this has been resting for 1 hour, and this is a total cook time of 8 hours on the Kamado Joe. Let's open this up, nice and juicy. Let's take this out. Oh man, super, oh wow. Tender as can be. Let's slice into this thing. We are going to cut right down the middle. Oh my gosh. It's time to show you the money shot. Man, that was so tender and juicy. Let's take a taste test of the part of the, this will be the point. Wow, that barkiness. My gosh, this is amazing. Well, the flavor on this brisket was so amazing. All I can say, it was beefy, it was sweet, it was so tender and delicious. I give myself an A on that. I thought the flavor was spot on. I'd say this is probably an 8 out of a 10 when it comes to a brisket. I thought it was a really solid brisket. So overall, I thought we got great bark formation on there. There was definitely some parts like the mohawk that, because of it wasn't as aerodynamic, when you shave that off, it gets overcooked. But with that beef tallow and that wrap at the very end, it definitely helps soften all that. But then just the cushion, just feeling the brisket, the top and the bottom, with all of that fat, because fat is flavor. It was so tender and it was so delicious. So I can't wait to slice this up and serve it for our family and some friends for tomorrow. So overall, I think this was an 8 out of a 10. I thought it was a solid brisket, solid cook. And if I was to change anything, I probably, again, this was a test to do an untrimmed brisket. I definitely would probably trim it out to be more aerodynamic, but overall, that's just because it's more personal preference and something I'm accustomed to. But I will say, for a backyard cook, this was the least stress preparation for a brisket I've ever done. Literally just take it out of the cryovac, season it up, put it on the smoker, and just let it smoke until it's almost probe tender and it's got some great bark formation. Wrap it up with some beef tallow until it's probe tender, let it rest. And if you let it rest even longer than an hour, it will continue to tenderize essentially and soften up all of the meat, and it will just continue to be juicy and flavorful. So overall, super happy with this brisket, and I hope this inspires you to get in your backyard and cook a brisket. And less stress, just untrimmed brisket right here makes your life a little easier not to have to do all the different steps. And it shows you that it's possible to have an amazing brisket, tender and juicy, flavorful, without having to do anything like trimming. So put in the comments, let us know what you thought of this cook, what questions you have, what things have you learned on doing this method as well. And my friends, check out the playlist if you're interested in all the things about Kamado Joe. Would love to help continue to build this community. So from my backyard to yours, less hate, more love, good barbecue. Till next time.